everybody. I hope we are doing lovely. I hope everybody's having a beautiful Tuesday, Blues Day as we like to call it. Um, it has definitely been a blue day so far. Forex OG Masterclass, right? I kind of want to see who has questions on the Forex OG. What's confusing you guys? I know the time frame throws you guys off a little bit when it comes to the Forex OG. So because I haven't really had like an open class for this one just yet, I want to kind of let this one be an open sector where I get questions answered. So if you guys have like specific questions regarding the Forex OG, please ask me. I can help you understand them. I don't want anybody to have any questions after we leave today. So let me pull up a chart. Is that cool for everybody? Yeah, I can go through the golden cross and the death cross. We can talk about that. Let me see. Let me get my screen share. Do I have a cheat sheet for this, like the one for Trap 2.0? No, I don't. But that's actually not a bad idea to get put together. A cheat sheet for the Forex OG. I could think about something. Yeah, give me some time. We could work on that. I'm pretty sure that's something we could work on. That's still holding GU, yeah? Hold that one. I'm returning Forex OG on so we can see it. All right. Where'd the chat go? See people still hopping on. All good. What's going on, guys? What's going on? Welcome. What's up? Man, what's up, Jaren? What's up, bro? All right, cool. So let's see. So I saw Julie had a question. Let me, hold on. Oh, you guys are over here today. There it is. All right, Julie. I think you can unmute yourself. What is your question?
Hey, Shem.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Good. So my question is, let's say, for example, what you're looking at now, when mustard's on top. So when ketchup, whenever it crosses. So let's say we're doing mustard over ketchup.
Okay.
Okay. But when it crosses, you're under the 50.
Yes.
Do you wait till the candle crosses over the 50 to then get in the buy, or you can get in when it crosses?
You get in when it crosses. When you're using the Forex OG, because let me get off of this time frame. Let me fix this 1 second. Let me find, or even in this example, right? So, right, price crosses there. Did it cross there? Let me see where it crossed. All right, so that's actually not the best example. I want to show you an example of what you're asking me, so it makes sense. This one down here. All right, so in this example, I'm pretty sure price crossed before it got to the 50. Yeah. So in this example, we can already see that price is getting ready to cross, right? We know that it's going to cross. What this is telling us is that the trend is getting ready to start changing, because the ketchup and mustard, what they are is the 7 and the 13. So it's showing us that change of the trend faster than the 50 EMA would. So it's okay to enter the trade below the 50 if you know that these have crossed. All right, that's okay. Same thing when you're looking for sales, just like in where we are currently in price. When we got into the market, price was right on the 50. But as you can see, you could have sold before being below the 50. Being below the 50 at that point now is just extra confirmation. Does that make sense? Let me see where it goes. Cool. Marie, I'm not 100% sure what you're asking. I think I would need to see a chart for that one. So the death cross, right? We could talk about the golden cross and the death cross. We'll do that today. The golden cross and the death cross. We can look at it on a higher time frame first because I want you guys to see what happens. What the golden cross and the death cross is, right, is the 50 and the 200 exponential moving average. For what, Lucy? For the crosses, you can use them on any time frame. But I'm gonna show you guys something crazy. The 1 minute death crosses. All right. So it's pretty much just the 50 and the 200 EMA, right? Which is water and mayo. Now, when water crosses down through mayo, right, it's doing something what I like to call locking the high, right? So in this example, all right, we are in a downtrend. So we've got mustard. All right, equals a sell, because as we can see right there in this area, mustard crosses ketchup to the downside. All right, we can see that, yes? You guys can see how mustard crosses ketchup to the downside? Cool. I'll put, obviously, I'm gonna mark it. Right? So, what happens when you're in this downtrend, right? We now know we are looking for sales. When you see water crossing down through mayo, right? When the 50 EMA is crossing down through the 200, this is what you call a death cross. All right, so what is it? The 50 EMA. Right, so when water crosses down through mayo, you get what's called the death cross. When you get this, it's just confirmation that you are also looking for sales even further, right? So let's see how price moves. I want to see where price is when it crosses and what to expect. Okay, all right. So if you were in the trade here, ketchup and mustard cross, that's your first entry, right? If you wanted to just focus on the death cross entry, right, you can do the same thing. Once you see, right, water cross down through mayo, or the 50 cross down through the 200 EMA, you can enter the trade. All right. Now, what I'm gonna tell you about the 1 minute cross is you can hold it, right? You can hold it until you see price do a golden cross back over the other side. That's why I like to use the Forex OG when I'm scalping, because it automatically kind of is your scalps turning into swings every time. All right. For me, just because of what I know, I'm always going to have a stop loss right above the previous cross. Right. So if this is where the cross happened, if you want to use a stop loss, I necessarily wouldn't have a stop loss. Right. And you really don't need one. The reason why you don't need a stop loss based off of this entry is because you're already in the trade here. Right. You're already in the trade here. I'm going to show you how this works. We enter the trade just based off the cross alone. I'm not really worried about price pulling back because, again, if we're watching one of our pairs, we would have already been in this trade. So it just kind of works out that way. Even if you aren't already in the trade, this is what visually will happen, right? This is what happens. All right. Automatically blue as soon as you enter the trade. But if you continue to watch, the trend is moving down. Exactly. So if you're already in profit on this entry, your stop loss would be in profit for that, right? So then this trade is really just a re-entry at no risk to you because it's only using the equity from the previous trade, right? All right. So, and the same thing, watch what happens. When we know that mustard crosses down, how do you set an alert for the cross? You put it on the 50 and the 200 when they cross, when the 50 and the 200 cross. All right, we can do like a whole class on alerts because there's like a lot of things you can do with alerts, but yeah. So Don, what I mean by that, that's what I like to show you guys visually. Let's say we entered the trade on this cross, right? And we have one position. Right? You see how much dark green there is? This is what I mean by your floating open equity, right? So this dark green is floating profit in your trading account. When you enter this position, it is not taking away from your original equity that was being risked here. It is only taking away from the floating profit that you are already in. Does that make sense? So let's say you had a $500 account and this position you're in profit. Let's count. Right, it's about 15 pips. So now you have $515 equity, right? It's going to tell you that's how much you have total in your account with the floating profit. When you open this trade, it is not, when it goes in drawdown, it's not going in drawdown that negative, that $15, 15 pips, right? In your account, you're not going negative from 500. You're going backwards from 515. Does that make sense? Perfect. All right. So that's why I continue to tell you guys and preach, hold your open trades, right? Your winning trades, because it allows you to place new trades at no risk to your account. You are becoming your own hedge fund in a sense. Perfect. Cool. So that's why this entry, I'm not really worried about the drawdown. if it does pull back, what do you guys think we're going to do? If price does want to pull back on us. Exactly. We just keep re-entering. Right? The death cross just tells you that price is going to be going in that direction for a long time. You see how the moving averages continue to spread apart. So the bigger this gap is, the stronger the trend. Right? When you see price cross, the bigger this gap becomes, the stronger this downtrend is. And if you notice, you can take re-entries the whole way along the 50. Right? The whole way down. When price pulls back to the 50, you can continue to enter the trade. You guys see that? That's all on the death cross, just off the cross. We're going to simplify trading. Trading will become very simple. This class could be 10 minutes just because of how simple these crosses are. But we'll go over a few examples. But this really doesn't have to be a long class if what we're going to focus on was the 50 water and mayo. That's it. We won't even count this one because that one, you know what I'm saying? 1 entry, 2 entries, 3 entries, 4 entries, right? And price has not shown me any signs of reversing. Price actually showed me that now the higher time frames want to continue in the downtrend as well. I don't know. I'm gonna have to look at that. I've never heard anything about a 200, 800 cross, like being something specific, but I will tell you this. All moving averages are numbers. So you could legit make up a moving average using random numbers that if you found a value for it, you could use it to this same way. Like what I mean by that is there's not one way to use them, if that makes sense. I have to catch up. Was there a training that shows us when to re-enter? I see the spots you just added, but want to get confidence in finding them on my own. The confidence is knowing and just trusting the analysis. We are in a downtrend, right? Put trend lines. If you are understanding, you can put a trend line. Right? We'll just say the trend line was here because that's where price was when we got in. Every time I see price pull back to my trend line, I will re-enter the market. Re-entries are honestly really easy to spot. We complicate them. Simple as this. As long as price is below the 50, you sell. When it pulls back to the 50, you just continue to sell unless price breaks and shows you it wants to go bullish. Uh, 713. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, blueberry is the 800 and above. I mean the 8-hour and above time frame. So 7 and 13 is mustard and ketchup. The 50 EMA is water. Here, let me show you the settings. Right, so we don't use this third one. So 1 and 2, this is mustard, and this is ketchup. We don't use carrot, so I uncheck carrot. Now we have water, mayo, and blueberry. Water's the 50, mayo's the 200, and blueberry's the 800. I have another video that goes over this in a little bit more detail. That may be a little bit better to watch. So when price is under all of the moving averages, do you change trends when price crosses on the smaller time frames? When price is under all of the moving averages, do you change trends when on the smaller time frame? Explain that again, or ask that again. That question's a little confusing. The inputs are default. You do not have to change anything other than take out carrot. Don't change anything other than remove carrot. Yeah, it does, Felicia, right? So here's the other thing. When you guys are asking me about how to also understand when price crosses the blueberry and water and mayo, right? Here's another way that I like to explain this. When you see water and mayo cross, this is also doing what I like to call locking the high, right? The high is locked in this moment, meaning from where price crosses to the high of the market, price will not go past that zone. Right? Price will not go past the zone. So this is also another indicator when you see this on lower time frames. I think when you guys are asking me about higher time frames when I'm on the 1 minute time frame, for me, it doesn't make sense. Because when you're on the 1 minute time frame, 24 hours does not matter to you. You're only on the 1 minute time frame. 24 hours doesn't even exist for you yet. Does that make sense? So you have to think the opposite way. What's happening on this lower time frame will inevitably happen on the higher time frames if this continues to show itself across the board. Does that make sense? Right? So I hope that kind of the question that somebody's asking me about the higher time frames. It doesn't matter what the trend is on a higher time frame. I'm on a 1 minute time frame. This happens before the higher time frame even shows you what is happening. You guys have to understand that the 1 minute time frame is building the trend. This is the start of the trend. Right here on this 1 minute time frame. Even when a day starts, when a new 24-hour day starts, and that day time frame, that new day bar candlestick opens, what is the first thing that has to happen? A 1 minute candle has to print. First and foremost, to even consider that the start of the day. You guys following what I'm saying? Yes, Brian, the SMA. So on the settings too, please get rid of SMA 7 and 8. It's just the 50 and the 200 again, but in a smooth moving average, so it does look different. Yes, Natasha, the death cross will happen first on a lower time frame. Absolutely. It will happen first on a lower time frame. But the beauty is we know what these moving averages are telling us the time frame of, though. 50 is my intraday trend. 200 is my 4 hour and above. So that is telling you what the daily trend is going to be. Does that make sense? Shami said, do we hold the trade until mustard crosses catch up on the lower time frame? Nah, so in this case, Shamitra, if you're getting in on a death cross, you only exit when the death cross happens the other way. If that was the indicator, that's the only time. So look, golden cross happens here. You buy the market, but when you see price cross back over, this is when you exit the buy. So now we've entered for the sell at this cross, and we won't get out of the trade until we see that happen on the other side. You said the wider the distance between the 50 and the 200 after the cross shows us the strength of the trend. Yes, that's with anything though. Like, so look, when the moving averages split apart, look how strong that trend was bullish. So yeah, with the 50 and the 200, the wider they are, the stronger that trend. Right? So that's why sometimes it does seem like it is super simple, or man, why is we're just so confident holding? Because you have to understand how to read these, right? So knowing that this high is locked as well, that means that the highest price could go is back to here. That's okay. That's just another entry for us. All right. So if I see a death cross on the 30-minute or lower time frame, but it hasn't happened on the 1 hour yet, we can go ahead and re-enter the trade. Yeah. Yeah, you actually can. Yeah. So the golden cross is when water crosses Mayo going up. Yes, that is correct. So let's see if we can find the golden cross. Let's see if we can find the gold. Let's just see what happens with this one though. Right, where was our entry when we were? I want to say it was around that area. Let's just see how long price wanted to fall off. All right, so you could have even, so yeah, to answer your question, you could have even got out of the trade when you see, the reason why I say not until ketchup, when ketchup and mustard cross, that doesn't always necessarily, right, tell you that it's going to go for a buy, especially when you see price under the 50 and respecting the 50 like this, especially what we know about being above or below the 50. So when ketchup and mustard cross back over water, that would be the indicator that you could look to close this trade right here, right? Look for your reversal patterns more so than anything. Sometimes, like, you can, the crosses aren't always accurate, guys. Like, none of my strategies are 100%. I need you guys to understand we're gonna lose trades even if we don't all the time. Like, but it might happen. It doesn't always. I'm trying to find more examples where they don't always work out, but it just kind of does mostly. But know that there are times where it just may not work, right? It just may not work. The tighter the EMAs together, would that mean a possible trend change? Yes, that's exactly what that means. I mean, but you guys are learning now. That's what I want you guys to ask questions like this. You guys are starting to get familiar, right? Look, EMAs were bullish here. Look at the gap between them. EMAs started getting closer together. Now the trend has changed, right? It's little simple things like that. Once you start understanding little things, right? Little things like that, it will change the way that you look at your trade. All right. So this is why I say, yeah, you can get out of the trade, right? If that crosses. But for my swing traders, this is why I like swing trading. We are under our 8-hour support. So if price does come back, that's just a retest. That's a re-entry. Remember how we use the other EMAs. If you guys aren't familiar with that, watch the other Forex OG video. I'll find it. We'll get it put in the chat. So this one will make more sense to you, right? And that's why I have to do these in parts and sections, because the Forex OG, when you really break down and use it all together like this, it's a lot. It becomes a lot together. Because at first we were just looking at this cross. Okay, well, we can use that cross. Go to this take profit level, right? Okay, cool. Go to the next take profit level. But now your take profit levels become re-entries because this is your first swing entry, right? So that's why when you start understanding, oh, wow, my first swing entry is at the golden or the death cross, but you guys didn't know that until I actually showed you what the golden and the death cross. Makes sense, right? When I tell you guys, when you get to Mayo, that's your first swing entry. There's a reason why I'm telling you guys that, because look at what happens every time that happens. It's usually around the time the high is being locked or the low is being locked, meaning water and Mayo are crossing. That is probably the biggest cross in the Forex OG that forces a lot of other things to happen from that. And I'm pretty sure we could have held this trade for, yeah, quite some time. I want you guys to understand we got this on a 1 minute time frame. TP was smashed. And I just pulled it down to a random level. A random level, right? Not even a random level. The level I knew was going to hit. Because everything that we put together. Who sees the pattern? Who came to the cookout? Who's at the cookout? Who's at the cookout? Uncle Jim, right? Oh, so you mean to tell me that the possibility of Uncle Jim showing up is a death cross happening? You guys, is it clicking? That if price was reversed, that this double bottom, this inverted head and shoulders, Uncle Jim, is showing me a golden cross? Oh, you mean to tell me if I'm on a 1 minute time frame and this happens, and I get above my 4 hour support, my intraday support, my 8 hour support, that I can hold this entry and go to now my whatever other time frame I want to look at and see that, oh, a golden cross just happened on the 7 minute time frame? A death cross just happened on the 7 minute time frame? Okay, so you mean to tell me I got a lot more pips I could catch? Is that what you're telling me? That there's a possibility of just more money being put into my pocket? Is that what you're telling me? Oh man, I don't believe it, so I gotta see it. I don't believe it, so I gotta see it. You gotta tell me, does it really is it starting to make sense now? This whole time, we're still in profit. As far as the take profit levels, I'm gonna do one more class when it comes to this. I was thinking about doing this here, right? To make us even better scalpers, we can mark out, man, look, we're just gonna do it. We're just gonna do it. We're gonna do it. Look, this is what I'm gonna have us do. I'm gonna have you go to the daily time frames. No. You guys want to catch like insane scalp pips? Like I can turn you guys into swingers like by sneaking like these scalps in here, right? So go to a weekly time frame, take everything off your chart, and zoom out. Matter of fact, go to a line chart and then zoom out. Oh, TradingView's been doing some stuff today where we can't go back some years right now. I think it's a glitch that's going on with TradingView. So for the time being, understand what I'm trying to show you guys, right? Does anybody have an idea of where I'm going with this? We're going to take it old school. This is how you mark up your zones, guys. We are going to find our support and our resistance zones, right? So what I'm doing is I'm taking horizontal lines. Wherever I see 2 or more points meet at the bottom, I see 1, 2. I'm going to use this one here though, right? Wherever I see 2 or more points meet, I'm going to place a line. All right, I'm gonna place a line. And I'm going to move up. I'm just going to do the same thing and see where does the majority of price meet in these zones. All right, obviously looking over here to the left, we don't have that data just yet. So I'm going based off the data that I have. This might be the next homework assignment, is marking up weekly zones. I'm not gonna give it out just yet. Once we get the first one completed, I'm gonna have a whole curriculum for you guys here, for real, honestly. Right. So let me see. That one's a zone. Can't disrespect that level. All right. I'm gonna go here. All right, and I'm going to take my time and mark up each one of these levels because it's going to show me something huge, right? It's going to show me something huge. All right, and I'm going to go all the way up. So let's see, let's say right there. Is my chart still inverted? Yeah, this is GU, huh? It is. Thank you for saying that. I think it was. Was it inverted? No. Nope. Nope. That's what it's supposed to look like. It's a weekly time frame, so we're good. We're good. That one's there. That one's there. I know. I got confused too. It's like, wait a minute. This one's there. This is going to make sense, guys. I promise you. This one's here. All this consolidation makes it really crazy sometimes, but makes for easy money too. I'm gonna show you guys how. I'm being extra tedious, to be honest. I could do super wide zones, but I'm not, because I'm just gonna show you how every zone look. This is a weekly time frame, so even just this small little zone that I marked out, that is a 257 pip zone, right? So hold on, let me finish. Let me finish. I'm gonna show you guys what you could do. I'm gonna show you guys the power of, yeah, it's gonna be cool. It's gonna be cool. I'll go here. This is probably the last one. Then right there. I'm going back to the 1 minute time frame. I'm not gonna change anything that we just did. I'm gonna show you guys exactly the same. 1 minute time frame. All right. Now I'm gonna go back to my candlesticks. Oh wait. Okay. All right. Put on. So even in this same area, right? Everything looks the same. The EMA is crossed. But now when you have this weekly zone, I hope this is easy to understand. This double top on the 1 minute time frame is a double top on a higher time frame, but a wick on a really high time frame. And you can know that that's a wick, and you can understand and see it's a fake out by knowing that you are at a weekly level. All right, so let me see if I can make this a little bit more clear. You see how all of that 1 minute mess turned into, on higher time frames, it starts to turn into actually railroads. We see the reversal before we get the bearish engulfing candle. Is this making sense? Before you get the engulfing candle, you could have already been in the trade. So when I tell you what happens on the 1 minute time frame eventually has to show itself on a higher time frame, this is what I mean. Because again, we had entries off of the 1 minute time frame. We have one here based on the cross. We have one, that one, that entry brought us over somewhere here. Oh no, it was in this area, if I can remember correctly. All right. That was just those crosses and then the death cross. Now, and this is why, right? It could be super complex. Even before I told you about the death cross, I told you this could have been your first entry when you break, right? Mayo, and you retest. Right? It's the same thing. That could have been, yeah, your entry off the death cross and your second entry or your first swing entry. But now you get to be below blueberry. This is another entry. Right? Because now we're just crossing over all of our high time frame trends. Exactly. Because the smaller, small candles, right, make bigger candles. That's really all it is. Small candles make bigger candles, and small trends make bigger trends. Right? There's multiple ways. So now, because you've already marked up your weekly time frame, your weekly zones, and you see that price is now back below your weekly level. You see price came back to retest this weekly level. What are we doing every time price pulls back to this level? Man, oh man, oh man, oh man. So I'm going to show you where your take profit level begins to turn into. When I said if you wanted to catch a lot of pips off scalping, right? I really meant that. These are weekly zones. These are weekly zones. So you now turned into a swing trader and you didn't even realize it. You now just turned into a swing trader and did not even realize it. So let's go back to look at our higher time frames. Right, let's start seeing what price is doing and what it looks like for us in the future if those were our entries. We do actually have an entry up there for GU, and I'm showing you guys GU specifically because we are in this trade. This is basic support and resistance, guys. All right, now, because we know what we know now, what did we get here? What just happened? What happened? What cross did we get? I know it might be a little bit hard to see, so I'm just going to tell you. Mustard has now crossed catch up to the downside on the 4-hour time frame. So when Mustard crosses catch up to the downside, what do? You sell. Oh, where's price so happen to be? Below the 50, below the 200 and the 800 EMA? What does that tell us for the trends of the higher time frames? Are we bullish or bearish, guys? I'm gonna ask you. It smells like somebody's cooking. I smell some ribs. I smell some baked beans. Who's at the cookout? Is it starting to make sense for you guys yet? Is everything starting to click? Is it all starting to come together? Man, oh man, oh man. So that's why I asked you. It's cool being a scalper and getting in and out of the market, definitely. Now, with this understanding, if you're a scalper and you're sniping your entries and you got, let's say because you're a scalper, you have to raise your lot size to make your money for that day. So you're probably scalping with the standard lot size. But let me tell you, if you had the knowledge and the ability to turn that scalp of whatever you probably would have, your 20 pips here to a 97 pips, you just went from $200 to $900. And that same thought process of being a scalper. So if you are a scalper, think like a swing trader too. You could really be a super assassin, because scalpers, we try to get sniper entries. But if I could get a sniper swing entry with a standard lot size, my God, 200 pips, $2,000 in your sleep. With the same risk that you would have put any other day. Nothing changes. It's just when you know better, you do better. That's it. Nothing changes. Your risk management does not have to change. It actually becomes even better in this situation. A standard lot size is $10 per pip. Thank you, Brian. Yes, that is $10 a pip. So in this case, this is not a sign of a reversal. The reason why is we have to understand we've already gotten a death cross. So this is consolidation along our weekly level. Because if I'm being honest with you, it looks like Uncle Jim showed up to the party a long time ago. So now when you're talking weekly levels, we definitely are coming for this level here. Price has respected this level for weeks and has not broken. We know that the US dollar is getting stronger. We know that the pound is getting stronger, right? But not stronger than the dollar. There's some stuff that's about to pop up. Just based on this market structure, it's let me know that that pull up, that GU push last week, I don't know if that was too fast of a move. I believe that was the false move. Because looking at price, this pattern here, this is a bearish channel. When you get a bearish drop and price pull, I teach this, and price pulls back into a channel, what do you get? All right. You get price moving in this channel. Now, if I'm looking at this, looks like this channel does want to get broken here. It looks like it's time for this channel to break. And if you also, man, look, I can't make this stuff up. If you look at where we would have gotten our sniper scalp entry is where? At the top of the channel. Are we learning today? Are we learning today? And you don't have to do all of this stuff that I just did really to find that. All you really had to do was put up those weekly levels and follow the moving averages. That's it. But that's why I look for my entries on the 1 minute time frame. Let's look at our trades for today. Right? Let's look at our trades for today. AU. Look at where our entries are, right? Look at what's happening when we are entering the market. Look at what is going on, the structure of what's happening, right? I'm not just making this stuff up. Look at the structure of what is happening. Everything is happening exactly how it's supposed to, right? This is how I want us to confidently, right? Where else was the EU? Where is EU, right? That scalp. Right? Look at the structure of what was happening. Right? We had our crosses going on. We are below our high time frame support already. So this was the only confirmation I needed. Look at what is happening. Guys, I cannot make this stuff up. I can't make it up. The market is just going to do what it wants to do. And I'm just going to be here to react to what it wants to do. That's it. That's why when people ask me, man, your chart looks crazy. It looks like a lot. Hell yeah, it is a lot. I'm sorry. But that's because if I want to be profitable and accurate, I want to know what I'm doing. Oh, you got too many stuff on you. Oh, you got to be a naked chart trader. I could do all of that stuff. That's cool too. But if I want to do this, so what? I'm going to do it. Like, don't let nobody tell you how you trade isn't the way you're supposed to trade. Don't let nobody tell you the way you're learning isn't the way you're supposed to learn, unless it's just not the way you're supposed to learn. Then that's a different story. That's a different story, right? But everybody learns different. Everybody sees things differently. So I just try to bring you so many different ways, so many different analogies, and I just hope one of them stick. It does not have to be all of them, but I give you so much because there's so many different type of people here. Somebody will click with something that said. Lower time frame will show you what's happening on that higher time frame. We already see the break and retest of this channel happening. We already see the break and the retest happening of this channel. Is this making sense for anybody? Drop a 7 in the chat if this is something that is helpful, something that is valuable for you. Because sometimes I feel like I just be talking. Just look at how beautiful what you see on the lower time frames. What is wicks and a lot of candles is really just a couple wicks and a couple candles. On a higher time frame, it becomes one wick. It becomes one wick. There's so much information and just data on the 1 minute time frame. I love it. That's why I love these lower time frames. I love them. Got an M right there too. Uncle Jim's right here. Look, Uncle Jim is just really all over GU. I'm selling GU and we're doing nothing other than selling GU. I know this was meant to answer your questions, but I kind of saw something that I felt like would be a dope teaching point and would answer a lot more questions. So I hope that was okay. I hope that was okay. I did go off on a tangent. I usually do. I'm trying to be more organized, but I think that one was needed for today. Are there any questions though? I don't want to just, are there any questions? Because it is like, somebody asked me, where does it start? I don't know. I don't know what the parameters for GU are. You tell me. You tell me. I know that it respected this top. I know it respected, right? The top. And now I know price has to come to the bottom. Yes, so once you get past blueberry, once you get past blueberry, you're flying high. You can hold, yeah, pretty much hold forever. Blueberry is like that last ultimate confirmation of, oh, I'm home free. Once you get past the blueberries, right? Once you get past the blueberries, you're home free. And so what I just do is I watch from all my time frames. Okay, so in this moment, 17-minute is below, right? But the 30-minute has not yet broken. However, what we do know is that we did break this trend line, right? I do see a possible bearish pennant also playing out in here too, right? So this is the other confirmation when you're at these EMAs to ask yourself, okay, when can I see the possible break of that? Once the 30 and the 45 get clear, right? At bet, perfect. 1 hour, you're already below. Right, so this is just letting us know, okay, we're about to break this trend. Like we're going to break this trend. And as long as you just see that across all your time frames, you start noticing, okay, my higher time frames. Now I see where my targets are. Blueberry is now underpriced. Okay, this is a possible TP1 level. Right, I'm not even going to put trap because I just put a green line, right? Where else does blueberry show itself? All right. That's possible. Another possible target, right? And that's kind of just how I do it. And I'm pretty sure on this time frame, see what I'm saying? And that, when you see something like this, that is you anticipating this weekly level is getting broken. I can see that though, because on the grand scheme of things, in the bigger picture, we are in a bearish pennant, and that is where price needs to get, is that back down here. It's inevitable. It's inevitable in this moment. Price GU is falling off the face of the earth. Would it be safe to say that patterns begin at particular EMA levels? Not even just EMA levels. They happen, yeah. Well, you have to understand why, and I say not at EMA levels because EMAs happen at that level because of price. So the pattern happens at that level because of price, because of what it is. It's structure. It's either the top or the bottom of structure. So price consolidates at structure. I don't want you to think about the EMAs. I want you to think about structure because we see that the EMAs happen at structure as well. It's a weekly zone, and we were talking about what happens when they get close together. Technically, for weeks, price has been consolidated. Technically, this is consolidation. It's just weekly time frame so you can catch hella pips. But for position and swing traders, this is technically consolidation. So that's why I say it happens at structure instead of not EMA levels. I hope that makes sense. So if it crosses down, we would go in again. Yup. Absolutely. The further it keeps crossing down, the more it keeps, exactly. There you go, sis. Vanessa said it perfect. The trend is your friend. If I see that this is bearish, I'm going to sell every time I see a green candle, meaning every time I see a pullback, I'm getting in for a sell. If I know that overall for a week, I could just layer in here and price is gonna keep falling off. Oh, bro, what? All right, bet GU is gonna be my bait for the whole week. And that's how you literally determine what you're going to trade. What is the market giving you? Why would you go and chase a whole zone, chase trades you don't even know about, and GU is giving you, it's feeding you a 270 pip zone weekly? What? I'm not about to fight that. I'm gonna take all my little pips and chips and I'm gonna dip all the way to the top. I'm gonna take all my little pips and chips and I'm gonna dip all the way down to the bottom. There's no need to go and chase every pair. Every pair is not going to give you 270, but we just found out what pair would. That's why you go back test. This was back testing for you guys that don't understand why it's powerful. I know some of you do, but we would not have understood any of that or got to this analysis on GU without doing all of that stuff. It may sound like it's tedious or that was for no good, but I know somebody is about to eat good off these pips that we just found. It is important to learn this pair like you know your family. Why do I say that? Because this pair feeds your family. You know what I'm saying? Like you got to start like really, really connecting with these things, not emotionally, but psychologically, like mentally understanding the correlations between the charts and real life. All right. Find an analogy that works for yourself. If you don't got an Uncle Jim, find an auntie or uncle who does kind of act like that and call that pattern whatever you want. Whatever, however you learn in this game, just don't hold yourself back by being afraid. Like, don't be afraid to lose. Don't be afraid to learn something different. Don't be afraid to do something different. What's that quote? Everything you ever wanted is on the other side of fear. Pretty much. That sounds super cliche, but that's like the realest quote out there. Everything screams sell me when it comes to GU. Yeah, that's really it, guys. I don't know what else. My head's about to explode. This is nuts, dude. This is nuts. I might have to watch this class again myself. Not gonna lie. I have to watch this class again myself. This is crazy. This is crazy. Are there any questions? Any questions? Yeah. Hey, wants to get into GU, tell him it's not a bad entry. It's not a bad entry. Yeah, tell him he's solid. Tell him it's a solid entry for GU. It's a solid entry. Are there any questions, guys? I like just getting all of this stuff packed into these calls to make them quick. Yeah, man. Who's blue though? Who's blue? Like who's blue? Who's really blue? And I want to know that too. Let me know. I want to know, man. Who's blue? It's been a fun day. It's been a good week so far. It's only Tuesday. It's only Blues Day. And we got so much more time this week. Guys, plug in, ask questions. We are here for you guys. We are here for you. I'm here for you. The squad is here for you. Everybody is here for you. Nobody gets left behind in this game, on this team. Nobody gets left behind. Nobody. If you're struggling, speak up. You can message me, but I'm like the worst when it comes to personal messaging. I'll see anything you put in the chat and you at me first because I look to there first. The group, literally, the chat gets my first attention, not any personal things, the group, right? Ask questions. Don't be afraid. Your question may be a question somebody else has who is afraid to speak up to, and you speaking up could be the answer that they needed. You could be somebody else's light bulb and you didn't even know it. You didn't even know it. So that's the beauty about what we're doing here, guys. I'll see you guys in the morning. Come with that water Hey, drink some water right now before we get off the call. Everybody drink some water. Drink some water. Drink some water. I need to know everybody's drinking some water. Yeah, you guys are welcome. You guys are welcome. Yeah, eat your vegetables too. Even though I said we don't use carrots, we still eat our vegetables. If you guys are finding value in these calls, man, go post about it. Post a screenshot. It'll be awesome if you guys don't mind. Anything. Just let people know how you really feel and what's really been going down. Let them know that there's value. If people are trying to get some money, man, we out here giving out free money every day. Out here printing like a money machine. All right, man, I'm getting off this call. I'm done with y'all. Holla at you. I'll see you later. I love you guys. I'll see you in the morning, bright and early. Come hydrated. Come ready to get this money. I'm out of here. Peace.